man is not, he's not British. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with this stuff. 2024 has been a wild year, boy. But yes, this man, Gucci third leg, exposed for spreading HVC 1 or 2. So, let's talk about it. Let's see, let's talk about it. So, without further ado, let's get this thing going. Let's start this up, shall we?
First thing that you were thinking is, who the is Gucci third leg? That's exactly what I was thinking this morning when I woke up and I was scrolling through Twitter. But apparently this man has been doing OnlyFans for years, and since 2021, he's known that he has herpes, and he's been openly spreading it to all of these OnlyFans girls that he sleeps with. And apparently this man has bodies. Here is a video of him speaking on how many bodies he thinks he has.
I think my body count was like 3,100, but I was really...
To just say that openly, like, as if, like, gang. To just say that openly as if, like, that's no... Come on, gang. He's a liar? I don't think so, gang, because he actually does OF content. But my thing is that if you're going to be doing something like this, if you're going to be doing OF, I would hope it is that you to be getting tested frequently. I mean, you need to be tested. If you're out here doing something like this and you're saying it is that you have 3,000 bodies, I would say it is you need to be getting tested damn near like every month, maybe less than a month. Less than at this point. Because you just never know. You gotta be messing with men too. Nah, that's crazy. How can one man bag 3,000 shorties? Hey, you asking a question is, I don't even know, bro. I feel like there's men who has even had sex with one girl 3,000 times yet, let alone, you know what I mean? They get tested weekly. I mean, as they should. That's where niggas mess up. I get tested every 2 weeks. See, at least it is with Peg. One thing it is that I could respect about with you, even though with the stories it is that you have shared with us, at least it is I can say you've openly said it is that not only you get tested, but you make the other people like, or you ask the other people to go ahead and like get tested too, so you know it is that they're clean. You know what I mean? Like that. At least it is that you do that. But this is insane. This is just to openly admit this, and it's just like, if you don't say it is that you were messing with you had sex with 3,000, 3,000 is your body count. At least it is you could able to say like, hey, listen, like at least the clinic know me. You know what I'm saying? I'll be up in there like, you know what I'm saying, every week type shit. That would make sense to me.
I didn't feel too bad about it because my ex-chick down in the body had like 2,000 or whatever, but so it was like when I was dealing with my chick, she couldn't really be like, oh, your body counts too much, because her body count like 2,000. My body count like 3,000, so it's like, damn, like I ain't feel too bad about
it. Nigga, what? Y'all, you just saying this number as if like everybody just, that's just a normal ass number. Like you just saying this as if like this is a normal ass number. You like that, oof. Oof. Like wow, that's insane.
That's a crazy amount of bodies. And I gotta be real with you guys for a minute. The whole deep down inside of me is like, yo, a quarter of those would be amazing. You know how many good times that is? But my bullshit aside, this is a really messed up situation. Now, I don't know how many people he slept with since 2021, but apparently it's a lot because people are putting together lists. And obviously it doesn't mean every single girl on this list has it.
Damn. Are you saying Sexy Red? Golly, bro. Golly. Now, having the names and the username is insane to this. Insane. Wow, this is insane. I don't want to say this to y'all as well. When y'all are going ahead and getting tested for STI infection or STD or STI infections, herpes or HSV 1 or 2 checking is not it's not on the standard test. You have to request it. Now, I want people to also understand this. Everybody has a level of a virus in them one way or another. They're not active. You may have antibodies for viruses in your system, and that's normal. But if you have active HSV, that's classified as you have herpes. Yes, they have to be active. You have antibodies for it, because like I said, like the HSV classification, that means it is you have either had chickenpox, mono, shingles, and there's some other classifications in that bracket that if you like, that's saying it is you've been exposed to the virus before, technically. So there's a lot of misinformation about with this, but it has to be like an active HSV1 or HSV2. HSV1 is usually through the mouth. I mean, I've heard some cases where it is people have HSV1 down there. I've heard that. But HSV2 is solely genital herpes. Now, for all intents and purposes, this is for educational purposes, that what I'm saying. HSV2 is for solely down there. HSV1 is mouth. And even if you have like cold sores and stuff like that, technically that is HV1. Technically, that is a classification of it. But it may not be an active version of this. You know what I mean? Is that Rico Nasty on the list? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it, gang. Who said, wait, I wonder, did he... Damn. Damn. She's one of my favorite. Gang, lock in, bro.
But there is a chance that they've contracted this from him because they had sex with him since he had it himself. Now, I don't know exactly where all of this started on social media, but I assume it's this video I'm about to show you guys of an OnlyFans girl named Deshay, who said when she was still new in the industry, she slept with Gucci Third Leg, and he's the reason that she now has herpes.
I'm just gonna say, yes, he gave it to me. It's devastating to have to come on here and share that whenever I was 19 years old, Gucci Third Leg burned me with HSV2, and he told me that he was gonna send me his test results, and he never did. And it saddens me to hear that he's done this to so many girls, and there's girls with so many similar stories to me, and they're so young as well. He is preying on the young, he is preying on the new, and I'm so sorry for not saying this 7 months ago. I was scared, and I was making...
Oh, don't be scared. Please don't be scared. The person that needs to be scared is him. May I add, when it is you get any positive, like, STI infections or like an incurable disease and stuff like that, the health department has to report that. So that means if you classify it as if you know that it is you have this, you was told this, it is reported to the health department. If you're openly going ahead and just like, you know, doing this and giving this out, then you can be charged for stuff like this. You can very much be charged for giving a person an incurable disease. But like I said, the whole herpes thing is like there's misinformation about with this, because you only contract an active HSV is if you are having sex when you have a active like outbreak. When you were going through an outbreak at that moment of time to where it is you was active, you know, but whole nother story.
So much money, I can't keep beating around the bush because you guys think I'm lying. And he can't ruin anybody else's life. I didn't know what he was known for. I didn't know who he was. I didn't do my research, and it is my fault.
So as much as I feel bad for her, there's a few things that she said that I feel like I have to pick apart because it just sounds weird. She's talking about how she didn't come forward and say anything because she was making a lot of money and so on and so forth, which makes it sound like she knew that she had it and she knew that he was out here doing this. And she didn't publicly come out and tell people so they could avoid getting it themselves. Now, I don't know if she was telling some of these girls behind the scenes. I'm hoping she was, but I'm guessing the reason why she never went public with it is because she thought that it would hurt her money. And I assume that it would. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if I was watching the hub and I'm watching some girl, as soon as I find out that she got an STD or just any of that kind of weird shit, like, I'm going soft immediately.
I feel like, and especially with like with porn stars, they have to get tested beforehand. They have to do all the stuff before, after. There's so much stuff within that industry within itself. Now, people on OF, that's more so like, I don't want to say the word amateur, but it's people that's not under a contract. They're not under like anything within itself. Those are all things it is that you have to do within your own self. It's all independent. So, and from what I was told, this Gucci third leg guy, this is on only, it's just strictly on OF. And a lot of times it is like, OF content can be sold to stuff on like, the Orange and Black website and like a couple other stuff, you know what I mean? Like it could be sold or it could be bought and stuff like that, but it's still a little weird to me. It's still a little weird. Still a little weird.
I'm moving to the next video. So there's no way that there's going to be as many guys buying her OnlyFans knowing that she's going to have lesions and sores and, even if you don't see it, that it can happen. So I feel like that takes away from you being into that person. But more importantly than that, on the screen, it says that all of the partners she had since she contracted it are negative and that she hooked up with them when she was not contagious. Except when I Google it, it doesn't seem like not contagious is a real thing. So I don't know if when you're not having an out.
That's not true. That's not true. That is not true. When you do not have an outbreak, you're not contagious. It's only what it is that you do, and you have to go get. I forgot the name of that medication. It is that it starts with a V. It's a long ass fucking word. You have to take that because that is the only medication that can able to control outbreaks like that. And that is the only one. It starts with a V. I cannot remember the fucking name for it altogether. You said it's contagious. That's it. It's contagious when it is you have an outbreak. When you don't have an outbreak is when it's not contagious. That is where people get the things confused. This is why I always say that there is a misinformation about with herpes, because you can very much live your life kind of normal with it as long as it is you have certain things under control. When when it is you have an outbreak, you need to go to your doctor, make sure this is you good, stay away from like not being active during those times and everything like that. Like, niggas need to take an in-depth sex ed class and niggas be ignorant. The problem is, and I've said this before, even with women's reproductive stuff, I worked within Planned Parenthood for a couple years. There's only 19 states out of the 50 that can medically are supposed to teach you sex ed. Medically, they're supposed to teach that. Other states are not required to. So once you have an outbreak, can you treat it or you could? Yes, you could treat it once it is you have an outbreak. That's the only time it is that you really do, to be honest with you. There's not a pill from what it is that I know that you could take daily, which it won't cause that, Also, you have to take your medication. I guess you have to take the medication when it is you have an outbreak. When you are noticing the outbreak, like I said, from research it is that I've done, because I've done sex ed classes before. Your body will tell you within itself. And you start seeing, you notice the symptoms. You know what I mean? There's usually signs of these things happening. Some people don't know these in the beginning because like it could happen sporadically. But from what I've researched, the only time it is that it's contagious is when you have an outbreak. What's up, Zach?
Outbreak, they look at it as not contagious because you have such a low chance of catching it from that person that's why she would say that. But when I Google it, it says, well, herpes is most likely to be transmitted during an outbreak. It can also be spread when there are no symptoms. Using condoms can help reduce the risk of spreading the infection, but it won't eliminate it completely.
I mean, yes, you can have an outbreak and absolutely have no symptom whatsoever. That's why I say it's usually harder for people to figure these things out in the beginning because of that like, well, you can't tell. You know what I mean?
Makes me think that it's crazy. She's been doing scenes with people since she contracted it. And she's probably telling them like, no, I'm not contagious now, if she's telling them at all. So as much as I look at her as a victim and I feel bad, I'm also looking at her a little goofy from the side because I'm wondering if there's a chance
Is it bad that you want to keep yourself pure without catching these diseases from intimacy? No, it's not. It's not bad at all. I mean, my thing is kind of like what Peg was mentioning before within the chat. You got to know people's status. You got to know people's status when it comes down to stuff like that. Those are real conversations that need to be talked about, you know, because this is your life, this is your health, all of that. Like you can't play around with stuff like that, because once it is you start catching venereal diseases that are not curable, you have to deal with that for the rest of your life. Like you got to deal with that for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? As a whole nother story.
And she's given this to somebody. She claims that all their tests are negative and they've been negative ever since, but I doubt that she's checking in with every single person she ever slept with since she contracted it, and she's going to do that for the rest of her life. I feel like there's just some weird shit going on. Now, I'm guessing that it says you can use a condom, but the condom doesn't always work, either because it goes through the condom at times or because the lesion is not always right on your dick, which means that the condom isn't going to cover it. Regardless, I'm hoping that she's telling her partners that she's just not having an outbreak and not that she's not contagious, because it sounds like you still can get it. And I'll be real with you. I don't know about you guys, but again, if someone had that shit, not only do I not want to watch them on the hub, but I definitely don't want to sleep with them. Even if they were like, yo, it's a 5% chance I'm not having an outbreak, you can go over there with that shit because I don't want nothing to do with it. Either way, the story gets a little bit crazier because I came across this random tweet. The tweet said, you can't take this woman seriously. She got a whole tattoo of Gucci third leg government name this year. And obviously you can't tell that it's her just by looking at the hand, and somebody else said the same thing. So the person responded with a picture of her throwing up a peace sign with the name on her hand. So I don't really know what to make of that. The whole situation is a little bit weird, but in her video where she talks, she did say, I'm sorry I didn't come forward with this 7 months ago. So all of this happened in 2024 for her, but we're finding out that he may have contracted it back in 2021, which means that there is a list of girls that he potentially has given herpes to. And whether or not they even know it is a whole nother story. Because I also decided to Google, can you contract herpes and not break out for years? And it says, yes, it is possible to contract herpes and not experience any outbreaks for years,
as the virus can remain dormant in the body for long periods of time without a noticeable symptoms. This is why it is that I said earlier, people who have either been exposed to the virus before, or if you had mono, shingles, cold sores, and stuff like that, the HSV virus, the particular virus is within everybody, but it could just stay literally as an antibody. It could just stay dormant into your system, into your blood, and there's no issues. So yes, that technically it is, that's correct. But again, you know, people don't do their research when it comes down to this. What you mean no raw dogging? You can catch something with a condom. Check our whole facts before you fuck, period, type shit. Everybody has a virus in their system. Everybody has a virus within their system. If you have ever had any of those things, do I have to go do a list of the classifications of what this is? Because like it could be. Again, I've never had chicken pox. I've never had chicken pox, but it is like, you know, like cold sores could be a thing. That's technically HSV. You know what I mean? Like, so obviously, combo, bye.
As the virus remains dormant in the body for long periods without causing noticeable symptoms,
there's
meaning
no
you
cure
could
for
be infected
herpes,
with herpes without knowing it for a significant amount of time, even years before experiencing an outbreak. So some of these women might have it and have absolutely no idea. Now, thankfully, if they're getting tested regularly, it looks like you can find out that you have it, even if you don't have an outbreak. Because again, that was another thing that I Googled. Whether it's an antibody test, a swab test, whatever smear test, a viral culture, a NAT test, it looks like there are some other options that you can go about to end up finding out that you have it, even if you don't have a visible lesion. So if you haven't been smart before in your life, this is the PSA right now. Get your shit tested. Whether you're doing OnlyFans or not, if you sleeping around and you get in with some different people, you cannot trust them. You need to make sure for yourself that you're clean and make sure that you ain't
Is herpes fatal? No. Herpes is not fatal, but AIDS is. AIDS is, but you know, HIV, well, AIDS is like that's like the top thing within itself. People unfortunately can pass from AIDS, but you're not necessarily dying from AIDS. You're dying because of the fact is your T cells within your body cannot fight off infections. That is what it's supposed to do with your autoimmune system. But when your T count is that low and you can't fight off infections, you could die from something like a common cold when it comes down to people who have AIDS. You know? You know, say a little sexual education for the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Passing it on to other people.
Yes, it
Otherwise,
weakens
we
your
end up
immune
in these
system
situations
badly.
where everybody starts to get the same shit. Now, aside from that, I've come across a few other things that I found pretty interesting, like Aiden Ross bugging out, thinking that there was a chance that he may have contracted it because of a girl that he slept with that also slept with Gucci third leg. So he was desperately trying to find a timeline of when Gucci slept with her so he could find out if he slept with her afterwards.
I mean, dude, like this guy named Gucci third leg, he has 3,000 bodies.
You talking about that black dick with the herpes on it?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Why are you looking at that? Are you gay?
Convy.
Did you just... Aiden, was you just digging for gold? Like, what was you just doing? Was you just, like... I mean, you might as well stuck the whole finger up in there, gang. What you doing?
He Sky Bree, bro.
Wait, what?
Yes.
So you got me sick then?
No, I haven't Sky Bree in years.
All right, well, they years ago. So that means you...
When?
What's up, Galaxy?
That means you have it then, and you spreading it out. See? I knew you always had some bullshit going on with you, bro.
Wow.
You're not just perfect. You just Jewish, so you get a lot of, like, you get away with a lot of things, bro.
And that's some scary shit. I couldn't imagine
insane.
finding that out and then having to sit there and wonder if there's a chance that I have it. Because again, he may not have had an outbreak for years. It doesn't mean that he didn't contract it. If he had sex with a girl that did get it from Gucci after they had sex and he didn't use a condom, there is a chance that he now has it and has absolutely no idea. And if he's sleeping with other girls, it's going to potentially spread to them who are going to spread it to more people. And this is how shit goes crazy. Because all it takes is one person or a couple of people that don't stay up on getting tested, that don't warn people when they find out they have something, and everything just kind of just falls to shit. There's even another clip that includes Kai Cenat. Now, we don't know if he slept with her. It's just an assumption that people are making because of this one interaction that they had on the live stream.
Wait, hold on. What the what the what? Wait, oh, hell no. Wait, nigga ass dick. What the? Wait, you heard about me? What have you heard about me?
Oh, no, I just know people know that you are slanging. So, what's up?
Excuse me? Excuse me?
I wanted you from the get-go.
Now, I don't know when this live stream took place, but if this was
Excuse me?
after she knew that she contracted herpes, I think that's crazy work to be trying to put it on Kai like that and have this cup and, you know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to play it up and probably try to get yourself invited over knowing that you can pass this on to him. Now, hopefully, if that was the situation, she would have told him and he would have been able to make an adult decision on whether or not he wanted to risk it, wear a condom, like whatever the case is. But if that wasn't the case and she just went and slept with that man, that's madness. Like, this is the shit that you got to worry about. Like, just watching this play out and all the potential names involved with it and all the shit that's going on, it makes me scared. And I'm not even involved in any of this. I'm not in any of these circles. But like, yo, you could just go and sleep with just a random girl down the street, and little do you know, she got it. And maybe she has it and isn't telling anybody, or she got it and she doesn't know she has it. Like, there are so many things you got to worry about. And it's crazy because you think, yo, I just strap on a condom, I'm set. Shit don't mean that you're 100% bulletproof. That's what's crazy. Like, you've got to be extra careful in this world. You've got to get tests done. You've got to check yourself regularly. You've got to stay on point. Now, thankfully, this is not a disease that is going to kill anybody. No one's going to die young. It's nothing crazy like that, but it is something that's going to affect you mentally, and it's going to affect your sex life going forward for the rest of your life, because it's something that you have to talk about. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people don't want to accept that. That's why STDs get so rampant, is because people don't want to accept that they've contracted something. So they don't want to tell someone else, thinking, well, if I tell them, they're not going to want to have sex with me. No one's going to want to have sex with me. And now I'm in this place in life where I'm going to be miserable and sad and depressed. And so people think, well, if I'm not breaking out, no one will know. And I'm not really that contagious, so it should be okay. And that mentality is a up mentality, because that is what leads us down this road. So I don't really know what to say about this. I just know that this is a really messed up situation, and I feel like there has been some funny tweets where people are saying, listen, if you let someone sleep with you by the name of Gucci third leg, like, you probably deserve the shit that you got. And I don't agree with that. Obviously, I don't think anybody deserves STDs, but I did find that funny, because it's like, come on, bro, like, you sleeping with some man who calls himself Gucci third leg. What are we actually doing with our life right now?
I mean, you can catch
Should
this
be
from
crazy.
anybody.
But anyways,
man.
I just saw this, wanted to share it with you guys.
What's up, Raina? They said it's crazy that Gabrielle girl just tried to fight Kayla Nicole thinking she was talking to Kai before she was. Yeah, this is man. He said Gucci's trending on Twitter, and this is why. Yes. And this is not the first time it is that I've heard about with this Mr. Gucci. First and foremost, it is the Gucci third leg. For what it is I've seen, this nigga don't ever wear Gucci. So off rip, I can already sense it is this a lying ass nigga. Like, how your name Gucci, but you ain't even wearing Gucci. First of all. Second, he did a 20v1. He did a 20v1, and there was some girl that was like bending over in front of him, stuff like that. They damn near smashed on the set of the 20v1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. The brain rot over there, right? Gucci a creature, so I don't know how people go for that man. Hey, I don't know neither. But I said Dion TV. I'm gonna say Dion TV. I'm gonna assume that's your name. Shout outs to you for the video. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. Make sure that y'all getting tested. And I will catch y'all in the next video.